is brought to you by our friends at 98.7 Frank FM, online at frankfmradio.com, and on the always free to download Frank FM radio app.
Frank FM plays the greatest music of all time and has the biggest playlist of songs on the radio in New Hampshire. Frank features all your favorite songs from Billy Joel, Elton John, Fleetwood Mac, and Huey Lewis and the News. Frank cranks Queen, Aerosmith, Hall & Oates, The Eagles, Pat Benatar, and the Rolling Stones too. 98.7 Frank FM prides itself on being the station that everyone can enjoy at home, in the car, and at work.
98.7 Frank FM is the soundtrack of the Seacoast and the soundtrack of Exeter football. And don't forget to go to frankfmradio.com for information about local events and sign up to win cool prizes.
Welcome back to the CB Show. This is Season 3, Episode 7. It's Week 7 on the NFL, and we are your hosts, Caleb and Brayden.
For the Exeter Seahawks recap, the youth division for the Exeter Seahawks was Tri-Town Renegades, and they won 28-14. I'm assuming they won. Caleb, what went well for their team?
Noah ran forward, and he got 3 touchdowns, so props to Noah. They did a good job blocking, making space for the team to run, and they didn't really, besides that, there was one kid, he was really fast. His name was like Majesty or something, but he was fast, but they held him to only 14, considering they had 28, which is pretty good. So I think holding them to minimal amount of points.
They doubled their score.
Yeah. I didn't really think that there was much they could have improved on. They played really well as a team. My favorite play of the game was when Noah got the handoff. There was nothing going for him, so he cut back, and there's just a wide open lane, so he took it to the house for like 70 yards. And my second favorite play was on the very first play of the game. Wyatt got a handoff on the right side, and he took it to the house, but he fumbled it on like the 1 yard line, but picked it back up and scored. So that was good. And my third favorite play was on defense when I forget who it was got the ball on Tri-Town, but he got the ball, took it to the right side, and he's getting brought down by a couple other players, and Wiley comes in out of nowhere. He looked like Jabril Peppers on the Raiders, or against the Raiders. He bodied him. I didn't really think there was a turning point. Exeter had this game from the very beginning. Like I said, they scored on the very first play, so I didn't really think there was a turning point.
All right. Next up, we got fantasy football 4-1-1. And we're going to do a little bit of boom or bust today. And Caleb, do you want to name me a couple of players? And I'll say if it's boom or bust and why. And then I can name you a couple of players. And then you can say boom or bust and why.
All right. Austin Eckler.
I think that's a little in between because he's coming off of an injury. But I'm just going to say boom because Mike Williams is out. So it's Keenan Allen is going to be their main target. They're on their throwing game, so I think the running game can get started.
Like we talked about, Joshua Palmer and Gerald Everett.
Yeah,
they're all going to get involved too. So I think having an extra player, like an extra key player, is going to be good for the Chargers. Let's go with Brandon Ayuk.
I think
I'm gonna say bust.
I don't know. I'm going to say boom on this one. He had a really good game.
He had like 11 points.
Fantasy-wise, yeah, but like...
He had like 6 targets and 1 catch at one point. So they're giving him the ball. I don't know if he's like...
I think
if he's performing with those chances.
I don't know. I think injuries are setting him back a little bit, but once he gets that ball back, I think once he gets in that rhythm, he's going to be a huge boom.
Adam Thielen. Kind of controversial, I guess.
Boom!
Dude, he's had a really good season.
Yeah. Like, he's having a better season than he did with the Vikings.
Yeah.
And, like...
Because he's the number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
And Bryce Young actually has a decent
arm.
Yeah.
To put. I'll give you some.
All right.
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins, I'm going to say bust. I'm going to say bust only because it's nothing against him or CJ Stroud. I
don't think he's getting enough targets.
I don't think he's getting enough targets, and I think the number one is Dalton Schultz.
Oh, yeah.
Dalton Schultz is going to get the majority of the targets, so I think that it's going to cut back on Nico Collins. And they also have Tank Dell.
Yeah.
So
Tank Dell didn't really do much.
Tank Dell didn't do much, but I think that
it's going to limit it.
Yeah, but Saints D is actually decent. So
Michael Thomas.
I'll say, well, it depends on how much he's projected. How much is he projected? Like 13 points?
Yeah, probably.
I'll say boom. Because he's been the number one. Him and Chris Olave make a really good duo.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Olave and him are going to get a good amount of targets. Like Olave is your first down and second down receiver, but if push comes to shove, you go to Michael Thomas, and he's a big target, so I think he's going to get a lot of receptions.
I also got one more for you. Kyle Pitts, coming off of a huge game. He got his touchdown last week.
Yeah. I have to say bust on this one. I'm going to say bust because I don't think Desmond Ridder has the, IQ. Like, he just throws it, like,
anywhere,
anytime, guarded, not guarded, and it doesn't matter. But I think that his decision-making isn't there. So I think that might play a factor into how Pitts performs.
Do you have any more for me?
Any more? Go CeeDee Lamb.
Bust.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Cowboys' offense is it this year. I think Dak Prescott has, I think it's around 640,000 fantasy football teams with Dak Prescott starting 0 wins. That's a fact.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It was on Instagram. It was posted on fantasy football because you know how fantasy football can like keep track of like every fantasy football team?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, like 64,000 teams. I have 0 wins starting Dak. Yeah, I can say.
Yeah. You got one more for me?
Sam Laporta.
Boom. He is, I would say, a top 10 tight end in the league right now.
He's number one.
No, I wouldn't say
for fantasy.
For fantasy points, he's number one. Okay, I don't think that he is a top 3.
I think he's top 5.
I think he's up there, but because he gets the targets that he deserves and the yards after catch. He's a really good tight end. I think because this is his first year, right?
Yeah,
so I think that he has a bright future ahead of him, and I think he's going to perform really well. So with Jared Goff at quarterback, he knows his value, and I like Jared Goff and Sam Laporta, so I'll go boom.
For injury report,
Jefferson out for 6 weeks.
Yeah, and
your Austin Eckler and T. Higgins are back. So is Cooper Kupp.
Someone just got put. Anthony Richards.
Anthony Richardson is on IR. Devon A-Chain's on IR.
Yeah. Who got hurt? Justin Fields got hurt today, and Christian McCaffrey.
Deebo Samuel.
Yep. But Deebo's expected to play.
Trent Williams got a little banged up, but he came back.
Speaking of someone, it's Christian Gonzalez. I think at one point, I think he was going to get Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think he was about to get that handed to him, but he did. He was so good too. But
Jabril Peppers has had a couple really big hits on that defense.
But I thought he was going to have a Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he probably would have.
Fantasy point leaders is probably
Tyreek Hill.
He
He had like a cramp or something.
Yeah, he got kind of. I thought he.
I like Zay Flowers where he is right now.
Yeah, Zay Flowers is doing good.
I like George Pickens
targets?
where he is. I think George
Pickens
Pickens
needs more targets.
Dude,
He's so good.
I think that George Pickens in the future can be a top 10 receiver. He just needs some more development.
Targets.
He's
so good catching. He never has targets though.
I know, but he needs to like develop more and have kind of that that
better
mindset.
Route running.
Or just like a better quarterback in general. Because Kenny Pickett, no. Yeah. Fantasy or which players are struggling to put up fantasy points?
David Pierce.
Still? Oh.
No, he can put up 12, 15, but
it's not ideal.
No, it's their passing game, pass blocking is so much better if they step up their run game. Dameon Pierce is a beast. He got stuffed in the back, broke 3 tackles in the backfield. Now, he goes up and gets him into 1st and goal, breaks 2 more tackles, carries it for 4 yards, and stumbles, gets back on his feet, and gets them into 1st and goal. And then their goal line blocking is terrible. He got stuffed. I think. And then went to dark. So
fantasy point leader or players that are struggling to put up fantasy points. CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is on a slow-moving Cowboys offense, super slow pace. Their defense is carrying them at this point.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Dak Prescott cannot get the ball past the 25-yard line. They can get down into field goal range, but they can't get it past the 25-yard line. And you're not going to win games by your defense carrying you every time. Sure, against the Giants, but it's the Giants.
Yeah.
And I think that Dak Prescott not being able to perform well is going to affect how CeeDee Lamb plays. So that's why I'm taking CeeDee Lamb.
And
I
think the Cowboys can get to the Super Bowl, and here is why. 52 players on their team. They have
53.
12 coaches, about $8,000 per ticket, and counting flights and all that, it's about $671K. And Dak Prescott gets paid $40 million a year, so he's able to afford that, and the Cowboys can go to the Super Bowl. I mean, it's great to see. Cowboys can finally get there with Dak. It takes a bunch of money, but.
All right, so now it's on to the Week 7. Is it Week 7?
Yeah,
okay,
Week 7.
Now it's on to the Week 7 matchups. Here are 5 matchups. Sometimes it will be 4 matchups, depending on how good the week is based on the matchups. So up first, we have the Colts and the Browns. So I think the Browns are going to win. So the Colts defense is decent enough to stop the Browns, but the Browns just had a really good game against the Niners, although the Niners missed the field goal to win it.
Deshaun's coming back this week.
Yeah, Deshaun will be back.
Deshaun and Kareem.
And Amari Cooper. Their offense is good when they're healthy.
That's when they're healthy. I think if Nick Chubb comes back, I think
he's not. He's done for the year.
Yeah, but I think Kareem Hunt might do better with Deshaun because they're more like a run pass type. They're more pass, and Nick Chubb doesn't. Nick Chubb's always run up the gut. I think Kareem can run up the gut and be physical too, but I think I think Kareem's more of a pass guy. I think he still gets.
He's a good third down back too.
Yeah, he still gets physical after the catch. Deshaun, I think he's gonna get a lot of touches, snap wise. So I think their offense is gonna keep possession a lot of the time. And I think he's going to get a lot of touches and be physical running the ball, too. I think
when he rolls out of the pocket. Because that's a big part. Because the offensive line isn't always solid.
And I got to take the Browns on this one.
It's
going to be all Deshaun and Kareem.
No, well, not all Deshaun and Kareem.
It's going to be Amari, too.
Amari Cooper, David Njoku, even. I don't think that the Colts are a very good team, but they could be. They could be if they utilize their players in the correct way.
I think
they need to get Pittman more involved. That's all I have to say. If they can do that, if they can, yeah.
I think Deshaun and Kareem is going to be a great example of connecting once you watch this game.
Yeah. They just need to be physical. They need to just
But But that's what the Browns are. Like they're just a physical team all out.
Yeah, that's how they beat the Niners.
Yeah, they run into everyone. Like it doesn't matter. Like, and did you see Kareem scored? He ran through like 4 guys too. He's all about that physicalness. I think his celebration was like he like kicked, at the end, like with his foot, he like did like a karate kick. So I gotta take Browns on this one.
Yeah.
That's such a good matchup.
Karate kick. The Eagles and the Dolphins, in my opinion, is the matchup of the week. You have a really, really explosive offense in the Dolphins.
I think this is the matchup of the week. The Dolphins with that explosive offense. They have all the speedsters, Raheem Mostert, Raheem Shaneen, or something like that.
Raheem Shahid or something?
Yeah.
He's on the Saints.
No, not him.
Devon Achane?
Yeah, Devon Achane, that dude.
Yeah, he's on IR.
He's on IR right there, but yeah.
You have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. He got cramps today.
Yeah, he got a cramp. Like he ran to the sideline.
Yeah.
Yeah, he full sprint, right? And then he slowed down and
Yeah.
was like grabbing his hammy.
Mm.
And then I think he went into the locker room and got some IVs.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this offense. I think this offense has some chance of standing against the defense for the Eagles, but I don't think the defense for the Dolphins has a chance to stop the Eagles. So I think if Eagles get 3 or 4 stops, I think this is the Eagles game.
I agree with that, but I think that the Eagles won't get 3 or 4 stops, so I'm going to have to take Dolphins on this one.
Eagles.
I'm going to take Dolphins. Dolphins are just really, really explosive.
They have to utilize Devontae Smith more.
Yeah, because he's not getting the correct amount of touches.
But when he gets the touches, he can just take off and be really explosive. I think explosive is the key word in this matchup. And I think both teams are very explosive on offense, and they can take off on defense if they have a really good drive and they hype up the crowd and the crowd's hype. And I think so. I think
especially Eagles fans.
Yeah, this can go either way. So I'm gonna go.
You know what? I'll take whatever team is at home because the home crowd plays a major part in like what team wins. I would take the Dolphins on this one, but I guess it depends on whichever team is home.
I'm taking the Eagles.
I'm gonna take Dolphins.
All right, next matchup we got the Ravens versus the Lions, and I think Sam Laporta is gonna have another big game. I think he's got some wheels. He can use those legs, bro. He's like, he can run fast.
Mm-hmm. Especially for a big man.
Yeah.
What? What?
Yeah, I think covered against the linebacker, I don't think the linebacker can keep up.
Mm-mm.
Like, only if it's like someone like Sam Laporta. So, like a big man who can run. And I might be completely wrong, or I might be completely right. I think Sam Laporta is one of the fastest tight ends in the league behind Kyle Pitts and stuff.
Yeah. Well, Kyle Pitts is a wide receiver.
Yeah, technically, yeah. Well, he's a tight end.
Yeah, but he's like a wide receiver fast.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. And I think he's a big legs. That,
Yeah.
And then Mark Andrews, on the other hand, he hasn't been having a season. I think it's going to be Zay Flowers in this one. The Ravens' record is just kind of shocking me. What, they're 4-3-1 or 4-3-2? I don't know, somewhere around that. But they're doing good. So I think I gotta take the Lions on this one. I don't think the Ravens can pull it off this week, but I think I don't think any other linebackers can keep up with the big man Sam Laporta. So yeah, I gotta take Lions on this
one. I think I'm gonna have to take Lions on this one. You still have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's healthy right now, and David Montgomery, which plays a huge factor in the offense. And the defense is looking really good. So I'm gonna have to take Lions on this one. Next matchup, we have the Chiefs versus the Chargers. And
this usually is a good game, but I think it's gonna be a better game. Is Austin Eckler gonna be back this week? All right, that's pretty nice. I think Sky Moore had a good game.
Mhm.
He had some receptions
Mhm.
for like the first time in forever.
Kadarius Toney caught a touchdown, but
But Mike Williams is not.
the Chiefs always play really well against the Chargers, and I think it's gonna happen again. So I'm gonna take Chargers on this one, or not Chargers. I'm gonna take Chiefs on this one.
I think I got it. I think. But if Travis Kelce has a good game, then it's obviously going to be the Chiefs. But if they don't, I think it's got to be the Chargers.
Yeah.
It just depends on Chargers defense and Travis Kelce and the Patrick Mahomes' offense.
Mhm.
I sound like Patrick Mahomes right now. I don't really know why, but in that face.
Okay, next matchup we have San Francisco 49ers
versus the
Vikings.
Yay! I think it hurt for the
Vikings.
Vikings to not have Jamar Chase.
What?
Justin
Jefferson, and I think that the Niners are going to be hurt or without
Christian
Debo.
McCaffrey
Or Debo.
Debo's going to be back. That's all I know.
Yeah, but isn't McCaffrey? Because he was jogging to the locker room.
Overall, I think it's going to be the 49ers game, but 49ers...
Trent Williams, dude, he's so powerful. He has the ability to just take a grown man and, throw him. Because,
he could take my dad and throw him 50 feet.
He's so big. He's just really big and powerful, and I think that whoever's playing against them, you just need to run to that side because there's no way they can take down Big Trent because he's just bigger.
Yeah, and I think overall it's gonna be the 49ers game, but let's see. I don't know. I want to see what the Vikings can do against 49ers, but for now I gotta take 49ers coming off a loss that hurt.
But you also have to get Brandon Ayuk involved because he's really good in his hand. He has really good hands. And Brock Purdy, I mean, he's just slinging it. He's just throwing, dimes. He's just throwing balls to people. Just a comparison, Deshaun is a lot more experienced in what he's been doing in a career. And Brock Purdy, he's a youngster. He'll learn as he goes. But Deshaun's already there.
I say to you,
he's better at getting out of the pocket. He's better at getting touches. And he's more powerful.
I think you should. Yeah, I think
he's
you
more
should
elusive. Did you see the highlight video?
Of what?
Deshaun. He was running routes like a wide receiver, and he was making better catches than a lot of actual wide receivers that play the position.
Jefferson.
He was doing really good.
High five, Caleb.
My mystery matchup is going to be the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. I'm gonna take Seattle on this one. Because Seattle is just overall a better team than the Cardinals. Joshua Dobbs is not the quarterback that you want running a franchise.
It's better than Kyler Murray so far.
Yeah, so far. We don't
He's
know.
hurt.
Well, that's wonderful, Brayden. So I'm going to have to take Seattle. Seattle's really good in the run game, really good in the passing game if they can get the ball to DK Metcalf more. And their defense is somewhat decent.
Didn't DK hurt his hip and then go back in the game?
Yeah.
But he came back in the game. I got to take Seattle on this one. And, I think their offense is more explosive and efficient than the Cardinals. They can be good, but they can be bad sometimes. So I got to take Seattle on this one.
Okay. So I've been to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and I touched the goalpost, which is a pretty good accomplishment. If I do say so myself.
So devious.
But I'm gonna take Buccaneers on this one. Buccaneers are leading the division, I believe, right?
Yeah. And Bucks had a good game.
Bucks had a really good game.
I don't know. Desmond Ridder, we were talking about this earlier. He's not good with decision making. I think he can fit in those pockets sometimes, but other times, I think overall, I just got Desmond Ridder isn't that, and I think Baker Mayfield can fit in those tight holes, and I think I gotta take the Bucks on this one. What about you?
I'm gonna take Bucks on this one. Bucks are leading the division right now, and I think that if they can get Mike Evans more involved, Chris Godwin involved, and what is it, Rashad White? If they can get their star player, okay, simple. If they can get their star players involved, they're gonna win.
There you go.
Simple.
We want to give a special shout out to one of our podcast sponsors, Fremont Pizzeria. Located in Fremont, New Hampshire, you can dine in, order takeout, or delivery. Having a party and don't want to cook? No worries. Call Fremont Pizzeria for all of your catering needs. Let them know the CB Show sent you. Fremont Pizzeria. It's more than just a pizza place.
Alright, you already know what time it is. Football trivia time, right, Q?
Yep.
Right, Q? When I say football, you say trivia. Football!
Trivia!
Football!
Trivia!
Let's do this! Oh, yeah. Which NFL stadium is the highest elevation above sea level?
Empower Stadium, Denver Broncos.
Try one more time.
It's-
The name, it gives it away.
Mile High.
Yeah.
Well, I said Denver Broncos, so that's like. Which NFL team holds the longest winning streak in NFL history?
The Patriots.
Incorrect.
Dolphins.
Incorrect. Two more guesses.
Can you give me a hint?
AFC.
Bills.
No. Last one.
Initial.
I'll give you the division. AFC South.
Carolina Panthers.
Well, you stupid! That's the NFC!
I don't know.
Colts!
Who made the longest field goal ever?
Justin Tucker, 64 yards.
66.
Oh, I said Tucker.
Nice job, Caleb. That was the easiest one of the day, in the year, in the summer, in the winter. You know, nice job.
Thank you. Oh, this one's easy. You should get this. Who has the most receiving yards of all time?
Randy Moss.
And you are so stupid.
Oh, my bad. Jerry Rice.
Yes, how many receiving yards? It's over 20,000.
Yeah, I know. Like 28,
Lower.
21,
Higher.
23,
Lower.
22,
Higher. 22.8.
9,
Yeah?
4.
No! 28295! He almost guessed it. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the CB Show. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure to like.
Also, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Instagram and Facebook at the CB.show. Now, go set your lineup.
Blue Ladies at Hike!